Hello students, welcome for today's session. In today's session we are going to perform separation of mixture of sugars by using thin layer chromatography. The learning objectives for today's practical to know the aim, introduction to the chromatography, definition, principle of thin layer chromatography, advantages and application of thin layer chromatography, preparation of thin layer chromatography plates, procedure for the separation of mixture of carbohydrates or sugars, then to note down the observations, calculation of RF and results. So the aim of our today's practical is to perform the separation of mixture of sugars by using thin layer chromatography. For this practical, the requirement is as follows. Apparatus or glass pairs, we required TLC glass plates, beakers, watch glass, glass rod, development chamber, spray bottles, detecting agents, chemicals. We required sample of glucose and fructose, silica gel G for preparation of slurry. For preparation of mobile phase, we required N isopropanol and distilled water. During this, we required preparation of following. First of all, we required to prepare stationary phase, that is slurry. The slurry, which is a mixture of stationary phase silica gel G and water, which is prepared by using the ratio 1:2. The mobile phase is a mixture of N isopropanol and water in the ratio 85:15. So the very first of all, let's understand what is chromatography. So the introduction to the chromatography. Here, chromatography is a technique for the separation of mixture of compounds by passing it through a medium between two phases, one of which is stationary phase while the other is mobile phase, which moves in the definite directions. There are different types of chromatographic techniques which are used for the purification or separation purpose. So here the techniques having different stationary and mobile phase. First of all, column or adsorption chromatography, which is having stationary phase is solid and mobile phase is liquid. Partition chromatography having liquid, stationary and mobile phase. Similarly, for paper chromatography, for thin layer chromatography, the stationary phase may be liquid solid, mobile phase is liquid. Another type is gas liquid chromatography, GLC, having a stationary phase is liquid while mobile phase is gas. Another is gas solid chromatography, that is GSC, where the stationary phase is solid and mobile phase is gas. And last type is that is ion exchange chromatography, where the stationary phase is solid and mobile phase is liquid. Now the definition of thin layer chromatography. TLC is an important adsorption chromatography technique useful for identification and separation of mixtures of organic compounds. It is useful in the identification of components of the mixtures using appropriate standards, for analyzing the fractions collecting during the purification of compounds, for analyzing the purity of compounds. So the principle of thin layer chromatography. The principle involved in the thin layer chromatography is adsorption. The one or more compounds are separated on the thin layer of adsorbent coated on a chromatographic plate. The mobile phase solvent flows through because of capillary actions. The compound with the greater affinity for the stationary phase moves slower rate, while those having lesser affinity moves fast along with the mobile phase. The identification of compound is done by the calculating RF value for each compound, where the RF is calculated by using distance traveled by component divided by distance traveled by solvent. So during the performing the thin layer chromatography, there are various components. So very first is stationary phase. There are several adsorbents which can be used as a stationary phase. Some of the stationary phase, their compositions and ratio in which they have to be mixed with the other with the water or other solvents. To form a slurry for preparing thin layer chromatography plates are given as in the following table. So here we are using for today's silica gel G, which is having silica gel plus calcium sulfate with the adsorbent water ratio is 1:2. There is also silica gel GF, which contain the fluorescent indicator having the same ratio for adsorbent water, that is 1:2. So next is glass plates which are the specific dimensions like 20 centimeter to 20 centimeter full plates, or 20 into 10 centimeter, that is half plate, or sometime it is 20 centimeter to 5 centimeter, which is quarter plate, can be used. These dimensions are used since the width of the commercially available TLC spread is 20 centimeter. Microscopic slides can also be used for some applications like monitoring the progress of the chemical reactions. The development time is much shorter, like 5 minutes. Glass plates of the different dimension can also be used when the TLC plates are prepared without the use of TLC spreader. In general, the glass plate should be of good quality and should withstand temperatures used for the drying plates. Next point is the preparation and activation of the TLC plates. The slurry, which is a mixture of stationary phase and water, is prepared by using the ratio as mentioned earlier, that is 1:2 for silica gel G and water. After preparing the slurry, the TLC plates can be prepared by using any one of the following techniques. There are 4 different techniques like pouring, dipping, spraying and spreading. In the pouring techniques, as we look in the figures, it is found that the slurry is prepared glass plate which is maintained on a level surface. The slurry is spread uniformly on the surface of the glass plate. After setting, the plates are dried in an oven is used for spotting. The disadvantages of this technique is that uniformity in the thickness cannot be ensured. The another technique is dipping techniques. 2 plates, either of standard dimensions or microscopic slides, are dipped into the slurry and are separated after removing from the slurry and later dried. The disadvantages is that larger quantity of slurry is required even for preparing the fewer plates. Spraying techniques resembles that of using perfume spray on a cloth. The suspensions or the adsorbent or the slurry is sprayed on the glass plate using a sprayer. The disadvantage is that the layer thickness cannot be maintained uniformly all over the plate. And the last technique is spreading. In the base technique is a TLC spreader uses. The glass plates of the specific dimensions are taken. The prepared slurry is poured into the reservoir of the TLC spreader. The thickness is adjusted by using the knob of the spreader. Normal thickness is 0.25 centimeter is used for analytical purpose and 2 mm thickness for preparative purposes. Then the spreader is rolled only once on the plate. The plates are allowed for setting, it is air drying. This is done to avoid the cracks. The plates are activated by keeping in an oven at 100 degree to 120 degree for 1 hour. So the activation of TLC plate is nothing but the removing of water or moisture and other adsorbent material or substances from the surface of any adsorbent by heating at high temperature so that adsorbent activity is retained. The activated plates can be stored in thermostatically controlled oven or in a desiccator and can be used whenever required. Mobile phase, it is a developing liquid which travels up the stationary phase carrying the samples with it. It depends upon the nature of the substance to be separated, that is polar or non-polar. Nature of stationary phase use, mode of the chromatography, solvents used should be of high purity. For example, petroleum ether, benzene, carbon, tetrachloride, chloroform. The another point is that is spotting. A 1% solution of the sample or standard is spotted using a capillary tube or micropipette. The spot should be kept at least 2 cm above the base of the plate, and the spotting area should not be immersed in mobile phase in a developing chamber. So this care we have to take, that there should be baseline from the bottom of the slides, so that whenever we are putting this TLC plate in the chamber, the spot should not go inside the mobile phase. The samples is applied on the narrow band and the width of the band must be as narrow as possible. Developing chambers, these are look like this. So these are the glass chambers with the cover slides or cover plates. It is used for the purpose of TLC plate to run in the mobile phase. After the mobile phase is poured into the chamber, it is kept closed with the lid for the saturation purpose. This is done to equilibrate the atmosphere of the empty space in chamber with the mobile solvent. This is also known as saturation of TLC chamber. Edge effect occurs when the solvent front in the middle of the TLC plates moves faster than that of edge of the plate. So we have to take care of this. Development of TLC plates. Different development techniques are used for efficient separation. There are one-dimensional development, two-dimensional development, horizontal development, or multiple developments. The further point is that is detecting the agents. After the development of chromatograph, the spots should be visualized. Detecting colored spots can be done visually, but for detecting colorless spots, any one of the following techniques can be used. There are two specific techniques. Two technique, that is non-specific method and a specific method. In the non-specific methods, the number of spots can be detected, but not exact nature of compounds. So example is iodine chamber and UV chamber, or for fluorescent compounds. In iodine chamber, where the brown or amber spots are observed when the paper is kept with the in the tank with the few iodine crystals at the bottom. Second is UV chamber for fluorescent compounds. When the compounds are viewed under the UV chamber at 245 to 365 nanometer, fluorescent compounds can be detected here. There are specific methods. The specific spray reagents or detecting agents, visualizing agents are used to find out the nature of the compounds for identification purpose. For example, for phenolic compounds or tannin compounds, we are using ferric chloride spray. For amino acid, using ninhydrin in the acetone. For alkyl compounds, Dragonroth reagents are used. For cardiac glycoside, 3,5-dinitrobenzoic acid is used. For aldehyde and ketone compounds, 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrogen compounds are used. So, different applications of thin layer chromatography, as earlier we have discussed that, to check the purity of given sample for examination of the reactions. In food and cosmetic industry, in biochemical analysis, for identification of compounds like acid, alcohols, proteins, alkaloids, amines, antibiotics, to evaluate the reaction process by assessment of intermediate reaction course, to purify sample, that is for purification process, and to keep the check on the performance of the separation process. So the conclusion, the TLC is a rapid, low cost, it is easy method for checking sample purity to detect the presence of foreign substance in the drugs. It is used to separate amino acids, sugar, carbohydrate, proteins, alkaloids, and antibiotics, etc. So it is widely used technique in the laboratory for separation of compounds from the mixtures. So now for today's practical, we have to perform the procedure in 5 different steps. The first step is preparation of developing container, preparation of the TLC plates, then spotting the TLC plate, develop the plate, and visualize the plates for the spot. So step first, to prepare the developing container, here we are required a beaker with the watch glass on the top, required quantity of solvents is taken into the beaker, that is mobile phase. Cover the beaker with the watch glass and mix the solvents for allow to saturate the chamber. Keep them aside until the plate is prepared. Now, second step is preparation of the TLC plate. Take the TLC plate or glass slide and cut it required length, or if it is aluminum plates. Here we are using glass microscopic TLC plates. First of all, we have to prepare the slurry. We have to apply the slurry either by a dipping method or spraying technique or pouring technique, and then after drying and activation, we have to take the TLC plate. Now we have to mark a baseline about 1 centimeter from the bottom. On the line, place 2 dots as equal space. Now our next step is spotting the TLC plate. For this, we require to prepare our sample solutions. Today we are using a sample of glucose and fructose, which we already label as sample A and sample B respectively. We have prepared the samples 1% solution separately. Now for spotting the TLC plate, we required to take a capillary tube and by the help of heat make it into the two halves so that the end of the capillary tube will be thin. It helps to place small amount of sample on the TLC plates. Now take the required solutions and spot them at the mark points. We are taking 3 spots here, so we are marking this as A, C and B, where at the A we have to put spot A and at the B we have to put spot B, and centrally at C we have to put a spot of mixture, that is glucose plus fructose. Now after spotting the TLC plate, we have to develop the plate in the saturated TLC chamber. As earlier we have prepared the TLC chamber by using beaker and watch glass. Put the TLC plate carefully into the beaker. The solution should not touch the marked line. Close the beaker with the watch glass and do not allow the solvent to run on the top of the plate. Before reaching to the top of the plate, we have to take out the TLC plate and we have to try it. So last step is visualizing the spots. After taking off the TLC plate from the beaker, carefully mark the solvent front level first of all. So this is our solvent front level, where up to which the mobile phase is traveled, that is known as solvent front, and we have to measure the distance from the baseline to the solvent front. First of all, we have to let it dry and place the TLC plate in the iodine chamber for developing the color to the spots. Then observe the spot and round it with the help of pencil or trace with the help of butter paper the spots.
So aim of our today's practical is to perform separation of mixture of carbohydrate or sugars by thin layer chromatography. For today's practical, we required following requirements. Glass plates, we required thin layer chromatography plates, that is TLC plates, TLC chamber, spraying bottle, developing chamber or glass slides. Chemicals, we required glucose fructose sample solution, mobile phase which is of isopropanol water, silica gel G for preparing the stationary phase, that is slurry, and we also required capillaries for taking these samples, as well as we required glass rod also for preparing the slurry. Now the principle of our today's practical, that is works on the chromatography principle. The chromatography works on the principle that different components have their different solubilities and adsorption to the two phases between which they are to be partitioned. So here the thin layer chromatography is adsorption type of chromatography, and it is a solid liquid technique in which solid is a stationary phase while liquid is a mobile phase. The separation of mixture occurs based upon their affinity toward the stationary and mobile phase. So whenever we perform the thin layer chromatography for the mixture, given sample mixture, those components of the mixture having more affinity toward the stationary phase will remain or will move slowly on the thin layer chromatographic plate, while those components having more affinity toward the mobile phase that will move faster on the TLC plates, and thereby the separation of the two components takes place. So this is a simple techniques for the separation of the mixture based upon the affinity toward the stationary and mobile phase, and based on their affinity they get separated. So we will perform actually this practical in laboratory level. Aim for the today's practical is that separation of carbohydrate sample by thin layer chromatography. For this we require we required chemicals samples of glucose and fructose. It is carbohydrate sample, glucose and fructose. Similarly, for preparation of stationary phase, that is for preparation of TLC, we required silica gel G. We have to prepare the slurry. Now we have already prepared the slurry of silica gel G in the distilled water. Similarly, this is the requirement for stationary phase. We also required a mobile phase in the thin layer chromatography. Here, the mobile phase, we have using the mobile phase of propanol and water, 85 as 15 ratio. So already we have prepared the mobile phase here. We also require the glass pairs. Here we require the pair of small beakers of 50 ml capacity for preparation of sample, which already we have prepared the sample of glucose here and sample of fructose. Now for our ease of practical, we have transferred this sample in the small tubes, that is sodium fusion tubes here. So now next step, we have to perform the thin layer chromatography. For the preparation of TLC, we require following materials. We require here, first of all, distilled water, silica gel G, and empty beaker with the glass rod. Now, along with this, we require TLC plates, that is the glass slides, so that we will prepare the TLC plates of these glass slides. So, first step, we require distilled water. We will take distilled water. Sufficient quantity we have to take distilled water. As we know the preparation of slurry, we require one quantity of silica gel G and double quantity of water. So here we have taken double quantity of water and we will take a silica gel G. So we require to prepare the slurry. So this is now ready. There are different techniques for preparing the slurry. There are 4 different techniques. We will prepare the glass slide either by dipping technology, by spreading, or by pouring methods. So these are the different techniques. Today we are going to prepare this with the help of dipping techniques. So there are the slides. We require to wash the slides so that the greasy material should be clearly removed out. Now in dipping techniques, we will take a pair of slides and we have to dip it. So after dipping, we have to separate them and we have to keep them aside for drying purpose. Now next technique is, we will see the next technique of pouring techniques, in which we have to take a glass plate and we have to pour our slurry from one of the end in such a way So this technique is known as pouring technique. We can prepare the slide. So here we have seen there are two different techniques, that is one is dipping technique and one is a pouring technique. So now next step is for activation, or after drying we have to activate the, we will air dry them for few minutes. So student, our next step is activation of the whatever plate we have prepared. We have to activate it. Now here we have to set the temperature for the oven and we have to keep the plate inside the oven for drying purpose. So now we will wait for few minutes to complete dry the plates, so that after drying we will get the ready plate for performing the practical. After half an hour, as we have placed the TLC plate here for the drying. So here our TLC plates are ready. So these are the TLC plate already we have prepared. So now these plates are ready for using. There are different plates we have prepared by the two methods, that is one is pouring techniques and one is by dipping technique. So these plates are ready now. Now we will go for actual performing the practical. As per the practical procedure, our first step was preparation of TLC plates. So we have prepared here TLC plate. Our TLC plate is ready now for using. Now next step is marking the TLC plate. So we have to mark at the bottom in such a fashion that mark should remain. So we have to keep in mind this mark, so that whenever we are going to place the TLC plate in the mobile phase chamber, the mark should be remain above the level of the mobile phase. So this we have to take into consideration. Now our next step is we require to take the sample. For this we require capillaries. So here we are preparing the capillaries. So in this fashion we have to prepare the capillaries. Now we have to use these two capillaries for taking the sample. Now our second step is taking the sample. Now with the help of capillary we have to put a small drop of this we have to take 3 drops. So we will place first in the, so this is small drop of sample A. Similarly we will take into the center of this. So this is repeated. Now next is sample B. We have to take it at the side corner, and similarly we have to take in the center where we have to take a mixture. So here there are 3 spots are taken. First is sample A, then mixture, and then sample B. Now we have to allow to run a mobile phase for this TLC plate. So for this, as we have prepared our the mobile phase. So here our mobile phase ready. It is propanol and water mixture. So now the saturated chamber is there. Now we will place this in similar fashion, so that there should be not. So we have to take a care that whatever the sample spot is taken, that should be remain above the level of mobile phase. Now we have to allow to run the mobile phase. So here look at here, the mobile phase is running. The mobile phase is running here. So we have to wait we will allow to run the mobile phase till 3/4 of the TLC plate. Yes, miss. Okay. Here the sample is run up to 1/3. So here we will stop right now. So we will take out the TLC plate and we have to mark it. So here we have to mark that this is the end up to which we had run the mobile phase. So here up to this we have taken the mark for the mobile phase running. So next step is now we have to develop it into the hot air oven. We will allow it to dry for few minutes. Now after few minutes we will take out the TLC plate and now we have to develop it with the spray. In the next step we have to keep the TLC plate in the iodine chamber. So we have to allow to react iodine solution and we have to allow to develop the TLC plate. We have to wait for few minutes. As time process, we will found that there will be development of spot occurs to the TLC plates. So these are the indications of that running as there is a different spots are observing in the mixture. If you look at the center, there is a mixture sample. There is a different spot is found. That means the mixture is get separated. Now we have to take out the TLC plate now. After few time, next step we will take out the now the next step we have to mark them. Here we have to measure the distance of this mobile phase. So this is the distance up to which the mobile phase is run. We have to measure this and we have to take this as our picture. Recording of the measurements. So very first of all we have to note down the solvent front, distance of the solvent front. So this is the mobile front and if it is recorded from the starting point, so it is about 6 centimeter. So here we have to take this so this is our
distance traveled by the mobile phase. Now our three spots, that is A, mixture and B. So if we found the distance traveled by sample A is 3.4, so we have to note down here. So this is our distance traveled by spot A. Similarly 3.4. So here now the distance traveled by sample B is about 2.8. Here so now next part is calculation. After recording, we will found that the mixture A and B is separated between by these two distance. So now we have to calculate the RF value as our the distance traveled by the mobile phase. Distance traveled by mobile phase is 6 centimeter and distance traveled by the substance A is 3.4. So we have to calculate the RF for substance A, that is our sample A, which is a sample of glucose. So we have to divide 3.4 by 6. So we will get the RF value. Similarly we have to calculate the RF value for B, which is 2.8 divided by 6. So in this way we will calculate now RF.
Now in the last part, we have to see the calculation part. Here, after performing the thin layer chromatography practical, we got the observation in this fashion. So this is considered this is as a TLC plate. After tracing, we got this result. Here, we have taken the TLC plate. We have taken the spots at the baselines. We have made the two samples, sample A and B. In the sample A, we have taken the sample of glucose, and in sample B we have taken the sample of fructose. On the baseline, at first corner we have taken the spot of sample A, and at another corner we have taken the spot of B, and in the center we have taken a spot of both A and B, that is mixture, and we have developed or we have run this TLC in the TLC chamber, and after few time we have taken when the mobile phase is allowed to run up to this mark. So we can say now here this is our baseline, and we had allowed to run the mobile phase up to the distance 6 centimeter. So we can say that is our distance traveled by the mobile phase is 6 centimeter. And after the taking out this TLC plate, we are developing in the iodine chamber. So we got the 4 spots. So very first of all we got the spot at first corner here at the distance of 6.6 centimeter. We can say that is the spot of sample A. Similarly at this corner we got the sample of sample spot B at the distance 2.8 centimeter. And we have compared both these sample spots with the mixture spot, and we found that similarly spot is observed like spot B at this level, and similarly another spot obtained at this level which is equivalent to the spot A. We can conclude that here the mixture of A and B is separated apart from this distance. So finally we can say that our sample mixture of sugars or carbohydrate gets separated by performing this linear chromatography. So here we have to calculate the RF value. Now what is RF value? RF value is nothing but this is a retention factor. So how it is calculated? The retention factor is calculated by this formula, that is we have to divide the distance traveled by the solute. Solute is here our component of mixtures. We have to divide it by distance traveled by the mobile phase from the baseline. So this is the baseline and up to this we have allowed to travel the mobile phase. So this is called as a distance traveled by the mobile phase. So whatever value we got, we will get, that is to be known as a retention factor. So very first of all we have to calculate RF value for sample A. The sample is nothing but the sample of glucose. So RF value for the sample is, we have to divide, that is 3.6 by the 6 centimeter. So we got it is 0.6. So RF, we can say that is RF value for glucose is 0.6. Similarly for fructose 2.8 divided by 6, we got 0.47. So final result we can conclude that here the RF value of the glucose is 0.6 while the RF value for the fructose is 0.47. So in this way we have performed the separation of the mixture of glucose or sugars by performing thin layer chromatography. So
students, after performing the separation of mixture of glucose and fructose by using thin layer chromatography and by performing the TLC of this carbohydrate mixture, we got the following observations on the TLC plates of spots. We spotted the TLC plate and whatever with the measurements we have drawn on the papers. So in this way we got our observation for today's practical of separation of mixture of sugars by this TLC. So next step is calculation of these RF values for the samples A and B and the mixture. So here sample A, the RF value, the distance travel is up to 3.6 centimeter and our solvent front distance is 6 centimeters. So we have to divide 3.6 divided by 6, we got 0.6. Similarly we got the RF value for fructose, that is 0.47, and this is about the result of today's practical. Now the observations, the two different yellow brown spots produced on the TLC plate for the mixture of sugars, therefore the given sample shows separation of the mixtures. Result, here the separation of mixture of sugars by thin layer chromatography shows following RF values for sample A glucose 0.6 and sample B is 0.47. So the next different 5 questions discuss the first question is discuss the chromatographic techniques. So as earlier we have seen, there are different types of chromatography. It is column chromatography, thin layer chromatography, paper chromatography, gas chromatography, high performance liquid chromatography. These are the types of chromatographic techniques. Principle of thin layer chromatography, as earlier we have discussed that the principle is depend upon the affinity, that is adsorption chromatography and the affinity of the two components toward the stationary and mobile phase. Next question is how preparation of TLC plate can be done. So as earlier we have discussed, the TLC plates can be done by using the by preparing the slurry and by either using the different techniques of preparing the TLC, either by pouring, spreading, spraying or dipping techniques, and then activation of the TLC plate can be done in the hot air oven or hot plate. So what are the different methods of preparation of TLC plate? As earlier we have discussed, there are different methods of development of these TLC plates. What are the different types of chromatography? As earlier we have discussed, there are different types of chromatography. Next question is, what are the different types of developing agents? There are different developing agents. There are two types, that is specific and non-specific. In the non-specific, we have seen the iodine chamber or UV cabinets, while in the specific for carbohydrates or for aldehyde ketones, we have seen the 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazines, or for amino acid there is an anhydrine agents, acetone, etc. Then what are the different techniques of development of the TLC plates? There are different techniques like ascending, descending, or horizontal or vertical methods of the development of these TLC plates. The next is different multiple choice questions. The first MCQ is, thin layer chromatography involve the phenomenon of. So there are four options are given. First is adsorption, partition, ion exchange, none of the above. So correct option is here, adsorption chromatography. Second MCQ is, a stationary phase of silica gel G with the water is prepared in the proportions. Different proportions are given here. So first option is 2:1, B 1:1, C 1:2, and D 2:2. So correct option is here 1:2. Next MCQ is, the thin layer chromatography is used as the detecting agents. So following is iodine chamber, 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine, UV cabinet, all of the above. So these are the correct option is all of the above, because the 2,4-DNP and this is a specific type of detecting agent, while the iodine chamber and UV cabinet, these are the non-specific type of detecting agents. So correct option is here all of the above. Next MCQ is, chromatography is technique for distillation, separation of mixture, detecting foreign matters, none of the above. So correct option is here separation of mixture. And last MCQ is, identification of components of the is done by calculating the value for each compound, Rx value, Rg value, Rf value, none of the above. The correct option is here, Rf value can be calculated. So thank you. So here today we have completed our practical of separation of sugar solutions or sugar mixtures by using thin layer chromatography. Thank you.